What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. Whether you're a returning Destiny 2 veteran or a brand spanking new player that is starting Destiny 2 for the first time in 2022, there can be some things about this game which are quite daunting to understand, or in a way very confusing to understand, and that's partly due to the fact that the game has been around for such a long time and a lot of these systems and things have changed, but also at the same time because the game itself does not do a lot of hand holding and doesn't actually explain a lot of the core concepts of the game very well, in my opinion. Now, I started to create a series of videos exactly for players like this. Feel free to check the description of this video for other ones in this series, but specifically today what we're going to talk about is activities within Destiny 2 and what you can do to increase your light level, as this is the main leveling up that you will be doing in Destiny 2 and something that you should look to do as efficiently as possible. Starting us off in the director of the game, aka the map where you choose which activities you want to do, you're going to notice that you'll have a different kind of reward coming from some of these activities. For example, you'll notice that Pinnacle rewards is a potential option that you can get from some of these activities, and then in other ones you can get powerful gear ranging from powerful gear tier 1 all the way to powerful gear tier 3. Now, the most important thing with this is that you understand which one of these you should be pursuing at which time. And for us to be able to dive into that detail, we need to understand light level and more specifically the caps on that light level a little bit better. Now, I'm not going to go too technical on this, but it's in essence what you have to realize is that there's a starting level that new players start out, or someone that comes back that hasn't played a bunch of seasons. And then you can proceed towards something that we can call the soft cap, which is essentially a position in light level where any gear from anything, whether it's blue, legendaries, exotics, anything like that, would be an upgrade to you, would be an increase in light level to you. As soon as you reach this soft cap, now you're going to start needing powerful gear rewards to be able to get you to the next cap, which we can call the powerful cap or the hard cap. And then for the last part, you are going to need Pinnacle rewards to get you to the top, and that's the Pinnacle cap, which is the highest that you can be on gear within a season. Now, if that all sounds a little bit confusing, let me use this Season of Plunder, as an example as to how this works. So the starting level that I was referring to was 1350. So that's where everybody, if you buy the game right now, if you install Destiny 2 for the first time right now, and you're a brand spanking new player that comes in, that is the light level that you're going to start on. Now, by playing the campaign of the, let's say you bought the Witch Queen, by playing the Witch Queen campaign, by completing the new light, objectives that you have as a new starting player. For instance, if you don't buy any of the DLC and you're just free to play, you're gonna start seeing your light level increase from any source that you can get. So again, like I said, you're gonna be able to get that from blue, purples, whatever. Then as soon as you hit the soft cap 1520, and again, that's this season, and remember that if you are for some reason watching this video in a later season, then of course these numbers will change, because every season essentially bumps the power cap up by 10. So in any case, you're going to hit the soft cap, which is 1520, and then from that point onwards, you're going to need powerful gear to get you to the hard cap, or the, let's call it the powerful cap, just to make it a little bit easier. And that in this season, in season 18, is 1570. Then once you hit 1570, powerful gear is not going to give you the same increases anymore. It's not going to be able to take you to the let's call it the Pinnacle cap, or the final cap, or whatever, the seasonal cap, which in this case, again in season 18, is 1580. And that's because you need Pinnacle gear rewards to get you to that. So in essence, very simple to understand, anything gets you to 1520. From 1520 to get to 1570, you're going to need powerful, and from 1570 to 1580, you're going to need Pinnacle. Okay, so now that we have that unnecessarily convoluted topic out of the way, let's discuss which activities you can do to get powerful rewards, which activities you can do to get Pinnacle rewards, and more specifically, which of these are available to free-to-play players versus which of these being available to people that buy the DLC or own the DLC. So let's start off with powerful rewards first. So as a free-to-play powerful reward player, or someone that is looking for powerful rewards as a free-to-play player rather, you can start off with legendary lost sectors. Like for instance, today I believe the legendary lost sector is on the moon. So if you are able to obtain an exotic from a legendary lost sector, that is going to be equivalent of a powerful reward. Any exotic and prime engrams that you get while playing, those of you that have played the game for a little while will notice that you get engrams that you will have to take to the tower and actually have them decrypted by Rahul, and those are also considered powerful rewards. So any exotics that you find out in the wild, as well as any prime engrams, will automatically roll as powerful rewards as well. Then the Nightfall itself is another option. So over here you'll notice powerful gear just by completing the Nightfall. There's a progress bar that you have to complete there, so about 3 completions at the easiest difficulty will get you that piece of powerful gear. Then Clan XP is another way for you to also get powerful gear, which sits over here. And then last but not least, we also have Days of Eternity activities here, which give you that. We have the Glory playlist over here, which also gives you powerful gear. And then we have the, what I call service weeklies, which is in essence 8 bounties from each one of these vendors. So 8 for the Vanguard, 8 for the Crucible, 8 for the Gunsmith, and then 8 for Gambit. All 4, that's over there. All 4 of those are actually also going to give you powerful rewards, and all of those activities are available to free-to-play players. Then you have seasonal activities, which of course change with every season. Now again, using the example of this particular season we're in, which is season 18, if you go to the Helmia, you'll notice that you can also get powerful gear from Catch Crash. You can also get powerful gear from expeditions, and you can get powerful gear from completing the star chart. So another 3 options for you there, but of course this is part of the seasonal content. Then when we get to DLC requirements here, this opens up quite a lot more, and if you own the Witch Queen DLC, you're gonna have quite a few more options just within the DLC location for you to get more powerful gear. This is Finch's Reputation quest over here, which gives you that. You have Altars of Reflection, which sits over here. You have Wellspring, which is over here, and you have the weekly mission. All of those can offer you additional powerful rewards. And then last but certainly not least, what is also part or considered as part of the DLC is Trials of Osiris. So Trials of Osiris, which sits over here, which is a weekly on the weekend activity that you can do, also gives you a further option for powerful gear. I know it says Pinnacle here, but I was going to mention it as part of the Pinnacle as well. But within this vendor, you can buy specific bounties which also reward powerful gear, and that's why I mentioned it here. Last but certainly not least, the other DLC that should also be mentioned is of course the 30th anniversary DLC, which if you own that, you also have access to the Grasp of Avarice dungeon, which lastly also does give you a powerful reward. Then moving us over to Pinnacle rewards, the cream of the crop, the best rewards you can get, and again starting us off with free to play players, and what you can basically get Pinnacle rewards from without having to own any of the DLCs is 3 Vanguard strikes. So basically over here, of course, these strikes have to feature the burn, so you have to be using the subclass that the burn is on. So I often make this mistake. I forget to change to the particular one, and then I end up finishing off one strike and then going, oh shit, I didn't change it. So always keep an eye on that. But in this particular case, it's Arc, so you have to be sure to be playing a Arc subclass and then completing 3 of these, which will give you a Pinnacle reward. 3 Gambit matches will give you a Pinnacle reward. 3 Crucible matches will give you a Pinnacle reward. And then Days of Eternity, this activity here, will give you a Pinnacle reward as well if you have 250k or more score for that. Likewise for the Nightfall, which sits over here, you also get a Pinnacle reward there, as you can see on the card there, if you score above 100k. And then last but not least, the raid of that week is, in this case it's King's Fall, also gives you Pinnacle rewards, 4 of them actually, if you play the raid from start until finish. Now seasonal content, you have 1 option for Pinnacle reward here as well, and that is a master completion of Catch Crash. And then again, if you have the DLC, you're gonna have access to a whole bunch more Pinnacle rewards available for you. So you will have the preservation mission, which I believe sits over here. You have the weekly campaign if you get a score above 100k. You have Wellspring if you complete it at mass difficulty. You have an exotic quest for Vox Obscura here, where if you kill a bunch of powerful Cabal, you get a Pinnacle reward. And Trials of Osiris, as mentioned in the earlier part of the video over here, also gives you a Pinnacle reward. And then your weekly dungeon and your weekly raid also give you that. Now, why I mentioned this separate is because the weekly dungeon and weekly raid is also DLC dependent. So even though I mentioned here that it's Witch Queen, it's possible that if the weekly dungeon, for example, is a dungeon that's from a previous DLC, then you would need that previous DLC to also be able to qualify for that Pinnacle reward by being able to actually do that dungeon. So that's going to be the things that you can do for Pinnacle rewards if you actually have DLC. And that's going to be it for most of the sources of Pinnacle and powerful rewards in the game right now. I say most of because of course we do have some one-offs and other things in the game right now which could give you a small power bump, a small power nudge, something like exotic quests that you haven't completed yet. So of course these are available in the game and could give you a once-off increase here and there. But however, for the general discussion of this topic, most of these ones cover essentially what you would be doing on a weekly basis in the game right now. Let me know in the comments down below if there's any particular part of this video that you would like me to explain a little bit more and flesh out a little bit more. It is a kind of a complicated topic and something that we can spend a lot of time looking at, specifically which one of the activities is most efficient, and we could discuss things like which ones you should be targeting first, which ones is not worth the hassle because it's too difficult, or you have to find a competent fire team or something like that. But that's for another video and another day. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. It's just super important to me that you have a fantastic morning, afternoon, and evening wherever you are in the world. And until next video, fucking cheers.
They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me.